this is another reason why the drill press is a very good tool to have if you're a modeler. Because this is, again, like the TIE Defender, this is straight up and down, and I don't have much room to play with. And also, this lets me hold it much more steady, like I said with the TIE Defender. So what I intend to do is drill straight through from one side and then come up through the bottom and drill straight through this repulsor beam right here. Well, either that or the sole, or the heel right here. And hopefully I will meet in the middle somewhere. I'm using a fairly wide bit because I want wires are kind of hard to keep totally straight and even. Even if you get them perfectly flat, they might catch on something, so it's best to have a very wide hole to deal with, especially when there's curls of styrene in the inside, or actually ABS, I think, like this kit is made out of. If there are curls of that material in there, they might catch on the wire and prevent it from going all the way through smoothly. So I'm using a fairly wide bit, like I said, and it's going to go from the top to the knee, and then I'm going to come in from the heel, and hopefully meet that hole in the middle. Let me lower this down a bit. Alright, now let's see here. You want to align it so that it's pretty well true to the seam of this piece. And also, don't worry about destroying this this thing here. You're going to be gluing it together anyway, so it's not going to be a snap kit. Well, I'm going to be gluing it together anyway, so I don't have to worry about having a huge alignment pin totally intact. If I were to keep this as a snap kit, I would, because it's it's essential for holding the thing together. And actually, these Mobius kits, and the Pegasus kits for that matter, are very good snap kits. Before, snap kits were really they didn't hold together very long, especially those AMT ones. Even up till like the mid-90s, snap kits just were a pain in the butt. They did not stay together very well, and they were they were a lot of times softened in their details, and they used stickers and that sort of thing. But today, snap kits are just, it's like a whole new level. If anybody's ever seen that Polar Lights Enterprise, the 1/1000th scale, either one of them, they're very sharp. They have water slide decals. They have the snap together features is just it's just so that little kids can assemble them. But they're still perfectly viable kits. And there's a whole thread going on right now on the Starship Modeler forum about how snap kits are just really turning a new leaf, and some people are turned off by them, but I'm not. Nowadays they're actually pretty cool. And like I posted on there, I actually sometimes like turning one of those turd kits into a real good, well, I like to polish a turd, as they say. So let's get to drilling on this kit. And like on the resin kit, you want to go slow with these so that you don't melt the plastic. Now, you might wonder why I'm holding it like this. See that angle right there? I'm drilling right into it, and it's making the drill want to go that way. These don't have really tight tolerances, so I'm gonna have, well, they have really tight tolerances, but they still have a little bit of play. So I'm going to, I'm letting it rest there so it carves out the true location of the hole that I'm drilling. And once that's done, you don't have to worry about keeping it. You don't have to worry about keeping that drill, right on top there. Well, looks like I don't necessarily have to drill all the way through. Somehow, the glue that I used to assemble this Ambroid of all things didn't hold very well. That's weird. I would have thought that that stuff is pretty hot, but apparently it doesn't hold these Mobius kits together very well. Worked on the Pegasus kits. I guess this must be a different type of ABS or something. But I'm not going to stop drilling into this, straight down like that. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to show you what I mean by the bulkheads. See these right here? All of that gets in your way. If you're planning on lighting a kit like this, you have to do a lot of preparatory work. You have to come in through and examine it and see what stuff will be in your way, and you have to form a path for the wires. The path I'm going to take is going up from the heel through this through the hip right here, and I plan on having just 2 lines because I'm only using one type of LED. Later on in this series, I might do other kits like the Enterprise maybe, and that'll have different types of lighting circuits in it, and I guess it'll have different type. I'm rambling. Let's get back to modeling. How about that? Shall we? Now, I've just demonstrated an interesting technique you can do with a drill press. You can actually, it's not a very conventional method of doing this, and it might dull the sides of your drill faster than normal, but you can actually use these like an end mill. If you needed to widen your hole, and you realize that you don't have a drill bit that's big enough to do that, you can actually take your largest drill bit, drill a hole in it, and move it around the sides of the drill, because these are actually a little sharp, and they will take off some material. It's a lot slower than an actual end mill, but that's what we want. It gives you more control, and it allows you to have a clean cut. We'll have a clean carve. Clean carve. So anyway, this is how you just basically ram the piece up against it and press. See there that new half circle that I cut in there? Yeah, this is a good technique for getting through those bulkheads, especially if you don't have a Dremel. If you have if you have a drill but you don't have a Dremel, you can still use the drill press to do some of the things that the Dremel can do. Not quite as efficiently and a lot more limited, in a lot more limited fashion. But you can see here that even though I have a dead Dremel, or a dead rotary tool rather, Dremel's copyrighted, I am still able to do some carving and a little bit of sculpting with a drill press and drill bit. So let's get back to modeling, shall we? Alright, I am back from my drill press, and I have now a hole that goes straight through. Can you see that? All the way through. And that will enable me to now wire this from the base to the top of the kit, where all the electronics are going to be. And I plan on using a certain kind of wire to do this. If you've ever been inside a computer, you will recognize this type of wire. For those of you who don't, this is data bus cable. I think that's what it's called. This is data bus cable from the inside of a computer. And this stuff comes in many different shades of color. Here's one from an old printer, I mean really old, from like the 80s. And this can be used in modeling because it solders very easily. You get a whole bunch of it whenever you get a strip of this. I think I had a strip that was about, this started out maybe 2 feet long, and I trimmed it because I needed shorter segments. But I have a whole bunch back there that's, you know, I have a whole lot of really long lengths, and it's real easy to get a strip off of here by just pulling. And so what I'm going to do is, you see that right there? Well, here. I put 2 holes in this with my pin vise, and back here there's tons of room. There's plenty of room here for a battery pack and a switch. Now the switch is going to be like, this is the back end of it. The switch is going to be back here somewhere, and that will keep it hidden, you know, inconspicuous. And I'm going to take this wire here. See, look at this. Perfect length for doing the Iron Man. This is, what, 34 centimeters long? And I'm just going to take my fingernails and separate the 2 ends and stick them down in here. Now I drilled 2 separate holes in this so that there'd be some stability. It would, you know, it would hold in 2 different places, and that's important for keeping the wire in one place. It gives it while you're handling it, you know, while you're handling the model, it gives it a little bit more bite, and well, at least I think it does. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and thread this. You want to kind of make sure that the wire is as straight as possible. It's just kind of like threading a needle. But if you go straight through, you really kind of have to. You're probably going to want to take more than one go. It's probably going to take more than one go at this. But eventually, you make it through. Check it out. Iron Man is now ready for lights. Well, at least the lower half of him is. So, I'm going to take a quick cut from this video and do some assembly. And then when I come back, I will show you how I'm going to light this thing.